Coming up on Quad Cities today at 11, we're keeping a close eye on Tropical Storm Nicole after it made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane in Florida earlier today. Then an investigation is underway in Iowa after election workers allegedly said wrong information about the Freedom Amendment.
We have some sunshine for now, but there will be some rain and even storms later this afternoon, and we'll have to say goodbye to those warmer temperatures. I'll give you the rest of the forecast here in a little bit.
Live from the KWQC studio, this is Quad Cities Today at 11.
Well, First Alert Weather tops your news this midday. We are taking a live look at our Skyview camera showing lots of sunshine, but clouds are moving in and it's a bit windy, leading to another unseasonably warm day across the QCA, and there are some big changes ahead. Thanks for joining us for Quad Cities Today at 11. I'm Kiel in for Morgan OTA. Meteorologist Alexis Hermanson joins us now in the Weather Center. And Alexis, we have quite the cold front that's keeping its eye on the Quad Cities here later today.
Oh, we really are going to see quite the change as we get into really later this afternoon and into the evening. Wanted to show you that yesterday we were able to break our record high. It was at 77 back from 1999. Now we have it at 78 from 2022. And once again, we are seeing those stronger winds outside, anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour. We could see those winds gusting closer to about 35 miles per hour at best here this afternoon, so it is going to get a little breezy as you're heading outside. 76 is that current temperature in the Quad Cities. Yes, a very warm afternoon ahead, or at least the start of it. And once more time, here's those winds for you. 15 miles per hour coming in from the south from Galesburg and Kewanee right now. That's really going to be that helping factor before we get that churn in those winds, because eventually we're going to see those winds coming in from the west and northwest, and that is going to cool our temperatures very quickly. And we're also going to have the chance for storms by this afternoon. Here's a look at your severe breakdown to the west and northwest. There is a low tornado threat, and including in the Quad Cities, there's a threat for winds to reach about 60 miles per hour within the strongest storms. So I'll continue tracking that and giving you the latest information. It isn't going to last all that long into this afternoon and into the early overnight hours. After that, though, we will have to have those cooler temperatures stick around.
All right, thanks, Alexis. Well, it's pretty wild as far as the weather goes across the country. We have blizzards to the northwest, the chance for storms here in the Quad Cities, and now we're talking Tropical Storm Nicole. It reached hurricane strength yesterday and made landfall along Florida's east coast earlier this morning as a Category 1 hurricane. It's still a tropical storm, and Nicole continues to bring heavy rain and damaging wind to parts of Florida, Georgia, as well as the Carolinas here in the next couple of days. Jay Gray reports from Jensen Beach, Florida.
Hey there, and look, a big change in conditions from overnight and early morning as this storm pushes through Florida and into Georgia. I want to show you, though, the waves are still big here, building, and just huge rollers moving into the coastline here. Flooding has been an issue over the last 24 hours. The dunes that protect this area battered significantly, and many of them breaking, washed away, and so you've got that flooding that we talk about, pouring over roadways, some of the roadways torn up. And then you've got water into businesses and homes as well. And so that's something they'll be dealing with over the next several days here. It was a massive storm, more than 400 miles wide. So it affected at one time the entire state here. Power outages, another big deal. More than 300,000 without power, and that number is expected to grow as well. Now, the storm really went to a tropical storm not long after crossing the shoreline, about 40 miles to the north of where we are right now, near Vero Beach. But even though it was downgraded to a tropical storm from a Category 1 hurricane, still causing some major issues, and it will for the next few days. This system's going to push into Georgia and the Carolinas and then up the eastern seaboard. So you'll see wind, you'll see rain associated with this for the next at least 48 hours for millions of people having to deal with the effects of Nicole. That's the very latest from here in Jensen Beach. I'm Jay Gray. Back to you now.
Back here at home, many of you reached out to TV6 on an issue with some ballots at the polling location at Duck Creek Lodge in Davenport, apparently not having the right candidates. TV6 reached out to Scott County Auditor Carrie Tompkins, who did confirm one location had 47 incorrect ballots. She said the ballots were rejected by the scanning machines. She also went on to say that her staff remade new ballots with observers from both parties to watch the process. Tompkins also says there will be reviewing procedures for the future. Scott County will be doing a post-election audit this afternoon at 1 o'clock. An Iowa teen who walked away from the facility where she was serving probation is now back in custody. Authorities say Piper Lewis is now in an Iowa jail waiting for a court date for violating her probation. She left the facility last week and cut off her ankle monitoring device. No word yet from the Iowa Department of Corrections on her escape. The Iowa Firearms Coalition says authorities are investigating after election workers allegedly told 3 of its members Iowa's Freedom Amendment would allow felons to possess firearms. A coalition spokesperson says Iowa law prevents poll workers from describing any ballot measures or candidates at all. The Iowa Secretary of State's office confirms the investigation is underway.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but we do want to make sure that this is fully investigated. And if there was anything that was wrong here, which it sounds like there probably was, that proper steps are taken to ensure A, it doesn't happen again, and B, what was the intent of the person doing it.
There are no allegations of widespread misinformation from Woodbury County poll workers there in northwestern Iowa. The Freedom Amendment passed with about 65% of the vote. Well, here in the Quad Cities, we're used to seeing speed cameras, but several small Iowa towns have adopted the cameras more recently. That includes Fayette, Iowa, about 2.5 hours northwest of the Quad Cities. The town of fewer than 2,000 people installed its camera back in May of 2021. In the first year, more than 3,200 citations were issued. The camera is located on a stretch of road the town says averaged 5 crashes a year until the camera was installed. Since the installation, there has been one crash with no injuries.
We don't like to call them speed cameras, we call them safety cameras. That's the whole reason why we installed them here.
Nearby West Union also installed its first speed cameras a little more than a year ago. In the first year, it issued more than 4,700 citations. The police chief says there have been fewer crashes and the cameras are letting officers allocate more time to investigations. Well, happening today, the Quad Cities Fall Success Fair in Rock Island. It's in the Holiday Inn Ballroom on 17th Street. It runs from 12:30 to 3:30 this afternoon. Organizers say there will be more than 60 tables with employers and resources. As downtown Moline is getting ready to host some holiday shoppers, a group of high school art students have been working hard on the Renew Moline building. Moline High School art students will have their work front and center on the old JCPenney building in downtown Moline. That's for the 5th annual Holiday Hop. This weekend, the nonprofit will hold about 15 vendors for the special shopping event.
For them to go off on their own and say, all right, figure out how to stylize the trees, the snowflakes, it's really awesome for them to do their own artistic spin. So for them to execute it is really awesome.
I'm super passionate about what I do, and I'm super thrilled that they're able to do something that they enjoy and they're passionate about as well, and they see my excitement and they get excited.
Those windows are looking good downtown. Now, during the planning process, well-known Quad City artist and window painter Atlanta Dawn popped in to talk about her technique with the students. Moline's Holiday Hop starts Friday at 4 p.m. and runs through 6 p.m. Saturday. Well, the COVID-19 Meals for the Holidays program opens up this coming Monday, November 14th in Moline. The program offers up to $200 in vouchers for gas and groceries for low and moderate income families. The program will be open until December 5th or until supplies run out. For more information on how to apply, you can visit our news app or our website. Well, coming up next on Quad Cities Today at 11, what led to a chase filled with car crashes in California and how it all ended.